Welcome to the Explorer's Guide to WA, The Missing Bits. In our previous episodes, we were following a predetermined route around the state, and that meant that we were bound to miss some really interesting places that were not included because they were well away from that route. In this episode, we're trying to cover some of the most interesting and popular places that are located off on their own. They're presented here in no particular order. The first on our list is the world-famous formation of Wave Rock. The formation is named for the high curved face that looks very similar to an ocean wave about to break. There are other rocks with similar shaped features, but this one is the largest as far as we know. Actually, this is only a small part of the main rock, otherwise known as Hidden Rock. It is a granite Inselberg and is estimated to be 2.7 billion years old. There's a reservoir built into a depression in the rock, which was constructed in 1928, and it was used as a water supply for the nearby town of Hyden. There are small retaining walls built on top of the rock that funnel rainwater down into the dam. This is a common practice in the wheatbelt areas of Western Australia. Hippo's Yawn is another interesting formation located on the northeast side of the rock. Wave Rock brings in over 100,000 visitors a year to this area, and in order to add to the natural attractions of the rock, a number of man-made features have been added, including a wildlife park, the Lace Place, Miniature Soldiers Museum, the Salt Pond, and the Pioneer Town Museum. A caravan park and resort have also been established next to the rock. Thankfully, the man-made attractions have, at least so far, remained fairly unobtrusive and haven't impacted negatively on the natural beauty of the rock. Our next item on the list is Rottnest Island. Rottnest, or Rotto as it's referred to locally, is one place in this series that you can't drive to. The island lies about 12 kilometres off the coast of Fremantle, and to get there you need to catch a ferry. Technically, we could have put this in episode 2, but decided to keep it until the last video, as it's one of the most interesting and popular places to visit. The island has rather a dark history, but we don't have time to go into that in this particular video. Today, it's generally in the top 10 list of places to see in WA. With safe swimming beaches, reefs, amazing marine life, walk trails, old World War II fortifications, and great places to stay and eat, Rottnest isn't cheap, but it is worth the money. The atmosphere on the island is unique due to the heavy restrictions placed on the number of vehicles allowed on the roads. There is an island bus service that you can use for the more distant attractions, but most people choose to just walk or ride a bike. We think Rotto should be near the top of your places to check out in our big state. Western Australian wildflowers are famous the world over, and with very good reason. From the magnificent fields of flowers you can find in the Midwest region, to the tiny delicate native orchids that hide away in the forests of the south, WA has one of the richest displays of wildflowers anywhere on Earth. You'll need to travel quite a bit if you want to experience the many different types of flowers that bloom in spring. But the good news is, the season starts earlier in the north, and later the further south you go. It's possible to see the sprawling displays in the Midwest in August, move to Perth in the hills in September, and then head further south to places like Augusta in October. This gives you plenty of time to explore properly. Mount Augustus is one of the more remote attractions in this list. It is twice the size of the more famous Uluru, but the more remote location means less people go out to visit. It's reached mainly via Gascoyne Junction, and roads are mostly unsealed. There are other possible routes to get there, but this is the way most people use. The Rock is 452 kilometres by road from the coastal town of Carnarvon, so you need to be well prepared if you intend to visit. You can stay at the Mount Augustus Tourist Park, where there are limited supplies and fuel available. If you don't want to drive all that way, you can book a coach tour, or you might even decide to fly. Mount Augustus is the largest rock in the world, and has been described as Uluru on steroids. The final destination on our list isn't the most spectacular, doesn't have the most amazing things to see, and certainly isn't the most popular, but it does have one claim to fame. It's the hottest town in Australia. Marble Bar is about 200 kilometres southeast of Port Hedland, and is rather a small town even by WA outback standards. Marble Bar does have some interesting heritage buildings, and there are some interesting places nearby, such as the Marble Bar next to the Coombe River. The marble turned out to be jasper, but it's still very spectacular if you get a bucket of water from the river and throw it over the rock. If you have a well-prepared high-clearance four-wheel drive, the road from Marble Bar to Hillside Station and onto the Great Northern Highway is really worth doing. There is some absolutely spectacular country out that way. We did it ourselves a long time ago in a Ford Spectron four-wheel drive van. We were probably taking a bit of a risk because we weren't as well prepared as we should have been, but we did make it. You'll need to check conditions before attempting this, because there are creek and river crossings to negotiate. Well, that's it for the series. We hope you found something here interesting, and we hope you enjoyed coming along with us throughout our amazing state. If you haven't been here yet, I really hope you do get the chance to come and visit soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.